Hey guys, it's your boy Arj back again with another Dragon Ball Super movie high level analysis video, and you guys know already about my past predictions and theories, which all are based on deep analysis of the material and lore so far, and you know just how much has in fact come true from not only the ending of Dragon Ball Super but even now in the run up to the new movie. And I'm telling you right now, today's prediction is going to be one of those ones which makes a lot of sense. So please do watch to the very end to get your mind blown, just like Broly. But before we begin guys, don't forget to smash that subscribe button to enter our Xbox One X giveaway with a copy of Dragon Ball Fighters, all sponsored by Bandai Namco. With only a week left, hit that button now and don't miss out. But moving on, we all know who the main protagonist of this movie is, and it is Broly. But what is significant about him now is that he is canon, a real Saiyan, and not just any Saiyan. He is the legendary Super Saiyan, with the legendary Super Saiyan transformation referred to officially as Super Saiyan Broly Full Power. What's important to remember though is that this is the second time in Super we've actually seen this form, and the first was Kale. None of this is new news, but recently in Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 38, we actually saw the first reveal of Kale's legendary form, who initially, just like Broly, had a berserk form with normal muscles before going to her final legendary form, just like Broly, where she's completely bulked up. Now there is actually a lot to talk about here with regards to what happens next in the manga chapter and how it relates to Broly, so stay tuned for a further video on that. But I'm gonna skip to the main part, which hints at exactly what will be happening at the end of the movie. Right, so after Kale goes on an absolute rampage, eliminating members of her own team, Kaba refers to her as the legendary Saiyan, which Cauliflower carries on to say, the legendary Saiyan? You mean that demonic Saiyan that only shows up once every 1000 years? With Kaba then continuing, once they awaken, it's all over. Their power keeps growing and they rampage until they basically self-destruct. Now what's important here is that Kale is called the legendary Saiyan and is described by Kaba as having number 1, a fate of blowing up due to their non-stop growth and power, and number 2, appearing only once every 1000 years. So now when we look into the lore of where these two things come up in Dragon Ball, we are led to this scene, which I'm sure you all remember from the Frieza saga, and is when Vegeta talks about the legend of the original Super Saiyan, i.e. the legendary Super Saiyan. And lo and behold, this is what Prince Vegeta says.
According to legend, the last Super Saiyan could only maintain his status in the transformed state.
Now this is pretty ambiguous, as the transformed state could mean anything, as every Super Saiyan form is in fact a transformation. And since Vegeta is saying this at a time where he didn't even know there were other transformations possible, we can justify the transformed state is meaning the final legendary form seen by Broly and Kale. He carries on though.
His power was extraordinary. He had no equal in the universe, but he was too primitive to control it.
Now this is word for word what is happening to Kale here, and what we have seen also from Broly in the past, and definitely what we will see from the new Broly also once he breaks that collar around his neck. Vegeta then closes saying,
his rage burned so intensely that it eventually consumed him, and in the end, he was destroyed by his own power.
Again matching word for word with the story Kaba tells us and the fate he says awaits Kale. Now we know from the anime, Kale's legendary form was not all that, and eventually she managed to calm herself to a Super Saiyan 2 variant with the help of Cauliflower, which again still was no real match for even a Super Saiyan Blue, so definitely was just using a limited variant of the legendary form. Broly however is an entirely different beast, as we know, and in every sense he is the legendary Saiyan Vegeta spoke of, with no equal to himself, and we know already from various images and the trailer, Broly will eventually sell on his final transformed state, which breaks open his armor and the only form in which he can maintain his overflowing and ever-growing power. Now jump back into the reason why Kaba even mentioned self-destruction, and well, we can definitely say logically self-destruction, which isn't on purpose, much like what happened with the legend Vegeta spoke of, would be caused by just having too much power emanating from a container, i.e. a body, which just could not contain the near unlimited source of power. And this is exactly what you hear from characters like Goku when fighting Kale, saying, "You just keep getting stronger, how is this possible?" Now go back to the trailer, and what do we hear Vegeta say? He says, "How is this possible? Damn it, he's learning as he fights." Again, another way of him saying he's getting stronger as he fights. And then we see Goku in the trailer saying, "He's just getting stronger." And then go back to the manga and we see Vada's foreshadowing what is happening already in the form, saying the explosion of power is stripping her of all sense of reason. Should she lose control entirely, this tournament will be the least of our worries. The choice of words here, explosion, lose control entirely, is undoubtedly telling us something, and the very fact she says it will be a huge problem isn't trying to suggest that Kale would be able to defeat an angel or a god, but it could result in a massive explosion, just like the original Saiyan, which would affect everyone at the tournament if she doesn't calm down. So clearly, all of the points match together, from the lore back in Dragon Ball Z, to the lore of Kaba in chapter 38, to actual verbal evidence of Broly's power increasing on, and even visual scenes where energy just shoots out of Broly, hinting at the uncontrollable nature of his ki, and it all leads to the climax that Broly, now that he is canon, will follow the canon story of the legendary Saiyan and blow up from his own power. It seems fitting not only story wise, but when we think that even in base form he has the upper hand on both Vegeta and Goku in blue, let alone his Super Saiyan Berserk form he has, and let alone his final legendary form where you just expect his power to be completely unmatched. We can say maybe Goku will re-unlock Ultra Instinct and somehow match Broly, but judging from the trailer we cannot say that will be enough, especially how the legendary form will allow Broly to basically have power-ups that go on infinitely, while Goku's UI and the power of the gods will literally damage him after a certain time limit, as we saw in the Tournament of Power. And it may indeed be after Goku loses and all is done that we get a miracle ending where Broly just cannot contain himself any longer and blows up, thus fulfilling the 1000-year prophecy of the legendary Saiyan. But yeah guys, that was it for today's Dragon Ball Super Movie 2018 theory analysis video. This is the only place where you will see a verified Dragon Ball YouTuber make confident judgment calls and not be scared to discuss and put out theories. So please do leave your comments on what you think and also your own theories and ideas, and let's get the discussion going. You know I will be replying to a lot of you, so get that done. But before you go guys, don't forget to smash the subscribe button to enter our Xbox One X giveaway with a copy of Dragon Ball FighterZ. One click and you're in, so get that done now. Until next video guys, cheers.